ॐ ॐ यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तं देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या संप्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशर्षिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादी नगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिराम बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततम् पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। सर्वतंत्र स्वतंत्राय सदात्माद्वैतवेदिने श्रीमते शंकरार्याय वेदांत गुरवे नमः। योऽवतीर्ण इहाचार्य रूपेण यतीनां मुदे श्रीमन्नारायणं वन्दे तं हरिं करुणानिधिम्। मननाख्यं प्रकरणं वासुदेव यतीश्वरे रचितं विस्तरेणाद्य संग्रहेण प्रकाश्यते। बालानामुपकाराय मम विज्ञानसिद्धये तत्र श्रीबालगोपाल कृष्णः सन्निहितो भवेत्। Om. All right. So, in order for this Vedantic studies to become fruitful, the student, the seeker, needs to have certain qualities in him. These qualities actually are called as the qualifications. Thus, a person who is endowed with these qualifications, now for him, this study will become immediately fruitful. What do you mean by it becomes fruitful immediately? Simply means that there will not be any delay in the process of knowledge taking place. Because no sooner the knowledge takes place, what happens? What happens with knowledge? There's only one thing that happens with knowledge, and that is
Ajnanam will go away.
exactly the ignorance goes away. And what have you people seen as the definition of liberation? What do you mean by liberation? Now we don't have to go that far. Liberation means where all the dukkha ends, so on and so forth. That's okay. But what finally is your conclusive understanding about liberation is avidya nivritti eva. This removal, going away of ignorance, destruction of ignorance is annihilation of ignorance, is what we call as liberation. And because it is not something that is promised to you in next life or a state after you die, but it is something that is immediate. And therefore, now for a person in whom this knowledge takes place is a person who has these necessary qualifications. Now, we people who are listening to it and trying to see what are those qualifications, then it becomes our responsibility that as we are dealing with life every day, these are the qualities and these are the things that we must try to inculcate and gather in our life. So, of which, so these are called as the sadhana chatushtaya. Okay, what are these called as? Sadhana chatushtaya. So, always remember that Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam is the only spiritual sadhana. Okay, yeah. But when will this become fruitful? It will become fruitful only if the person who is undertaking this sadhana, spiritual practice, has these qualities in full measure, uh, in abundance. It is all accomplished. It is not something that is lacking or he's trying to still build it up. It is accomplished in him. He has it in full measure. So no, he's not over there making an attempt for Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. It comes to him as naturally as breath, as you're drawing the breath. You see? A natural response is that of Viveka, Vairagya, etc. Not that he has to sit back and think, you know, if not in this text, there are other places where you will come across this. That when we talk about Vairagyam, we understand that it is when the person has this necessary maturity wherein he does not feel or he does not find that his joy or happiness is arrested by time, place, person, objects, relations, or anything like that. Because happiness is not something that can be limited by time and space. So then how is it that I feel? Because you have decided that your happiness is something which is dependent on objects, whether those are the objects of this world or of some celestial world. What have you made your happiness to be dependent on that, isn't it? So when a person says that I do not require these objects because objects, etc., are not something, so now the hankering goes away. Whatever has to arrive in your life, those objects and those people will arrive and they will depart. Whether you want or you don't want is not at all the question. So their presence or their departure from your life is something that will be determined by the force of prarabdha. Now keep this word with you. By the force of prarabdha. It is not you wanting or you not wanting. You understand? There is a difference. Who wanting you not wanting is not at all the case. If it could have it been determined by your want, then why will you ever have to be sad? Sad means, I don't mean to say that sad means a person is constantly crying. Even when you're bored, what are you? Is that something desirable? Oh, today I have been laughing all this whole week. Now at the weekend, at least let me get bored. Do you say that? So no, this is something that is detested by you. So you don't want it. Now you see, so Vairagyam is this maturity. But this Vairagyam also progresses through stages. This maturity also comes to us in stages. So, in what do they call Patanjali Yoga Sutra Bhashyam, this is 7. The first stage is called as the Yatamana Vairagya. What is it? Yatama. Yatamanam means wherein the person, the seeker, is striving to set himself free from this dependence on objects. He is striving. And that's why when you say that, well, I'm going to try this whole month, I'm not going to take this kind of a food or not going to try that or something like that. These are disciplines by which you are allowing yourself to discover this independence. You see that, generally how it happens in the Hindu families or in where a person passes away. And then what, for 1 year, the family or people, then they say, those who are, in close circle, that for 1 year we will give up something. That we give up something. Is not it that you say? Or when you visit Kashi or some Tirtha, you say that we will give up something. You go to Kashi, you take Ganga bath, and then you do a sankalpa that, I'm going to give up, let us say, what is it that called? Brinjal, eggplant. So somebody who does not like eggplant, any which ways he does not, he says, I'll give it up. He has found a very nice religious spiritual excuse that, well, I've given up eggplant. Why? Because I went to Kashi. No, you. These are the occasions when you should be able to, you are allowed to discover this independence. Maybe I will not take sugar. Maybe I will not take some form of laddu or rasgulla or something. You see what happens now? You are so much dependent on it. Maybe a month or so, it is going to be a little difficult. But later on, you will find that it is so easy to enjoy your food and to enjoy even without rasgulla. Ask those people who have given up all the animal products, huh? And coming from India, etc. We loved some buttermilk or curd or some ghee on the rice every day, and then they give up, and then for 1 month and all, and then you slowly discover that it is possible. And then after 10 years, you find it, oh, well, I have never eaten ice cream in so many years. And I simply was saying that I'm dependent, I'm dependent. So you allow yourself to discover. This is called as Yatamana Vaira. But in order to be even in this stage of spiritual evolution, what you must follow is this scriptural injunction, the discipline of do's and don'ts. Okay? So Yatamana Vairagyam is the first Vairagyam. Then the second one is Ekendriya, wherein, huh? Ekendriya Vairagyam, wherein the person externally does not have any attempt at getting those objects, but internally there is a little demand. Okay, so externally the indriyas, the indriyas meaning the organs of action and organs of perception, 10 in total, plus one, mind. Okay, so how many in this scenario, how many indriyas do you have?
11.
11. Now with these 11 indriyas, this person, through his jnanendriyas and karmendriyas, he is not chasing those objects. There is a demand where only in one indriya. And therefore, now, which is the area where he has to work?
Mind.
Manas.
Only on that
Manas.
ekendriya. Only on.
Mind.
And that's why this stage is called as ekendriya vairagyam. Okay. Then there is the third stage, wherein the person now takes a stock of how much journey he has undertaken or he has completed, and how much more he still needs to walk on this path of Vairagya. Okay? There is a very beautiful example that somebody has given in one of the commentaries that they have written. And they said, it is like a lion or a tiger. You know, the lion, each lion has his own, or a tiger has his own territory. They mark their territory, whatever 10 miles of radius. And this tiger walks in his territory every day. He keeps taking rounds in his own territory. And when he goes for the round, then he climbs on a rock or some place from where he now takes a look and he sees how much territory he has covered and how much more he needs to cover. You know, that is called Simhavalokanam. Avalokanam means like, Avalokanam means to see. Simhavalokanam means the Simha, or like the lion, how he looks, like that. When you observe like a lion, aage piche, you look at how much more and how much it is covered. So this is called as Vyatireka Vairagya. This is the second stage of evolution. And then the fourth stage is called as Vashikar, wherein the person has absolutely no craving internally. Externally, of course, there is no activity, no action, which is meant to for the object. So externally, it is not there. Internally, also that craving, that longing has disappeared for any object, whether belonging to this world or is called as Vashikar Sakya Vairagyam. What is that sutra, Patanjala Sutra? You will have to switch the mic on.
Yeah, it is. I remember Vashikara Sanya Vairagya.
But what is the sutra?
Give me a second, Swamiji. Let me check in the...
On tip.
No, I will try. Let me try 1 second. It's Drishta Anushravika Vishaya Vitrushnasya Vashikara Samjna Vairagya.
All right, so this is Vashikara Sanya Vairagya. Now, when this Vairagyam is there, it also then gets expressed in our transactions. Okay? It gets expressed in the transactions. So it is actually the Shanti. This Vairagyam is a state of, it is not some sadness or, he is deprived from all the pleasures and nothing. It is Shanti. Okay? So when the Indriyas, you can pacify the Indriyas, it is called as, pacify means to make them peaceful. If you can make your Indriyas which are disturbed peaceful, This is called as Dama. When you can make your mind, which is disturbed, peaceful, when you can make that mind or disturbed mind also peaceful, it is called as Shama. So Shanti is in one place is called as Shama. That Shanti itself in another place is called as Dama. Then Uparati. Uparati means you have seen Vyavahara Lopo, Sanyasaha, Nishkama Karmanushanam. So it is, giving up unnecessary activity and involvement. So now those activities and actions and, areas of action where your involvement is not required, what do?
Step back.
You withdraw. That Shanti of action is called as Uparati. So Puja Maharaj used to say all this sixfold wealth which is being spoken over here is nothing but expressions of Shanti only. And that is, these expressions of Vairagya in transaction. You see, these are the parameters against which you can measure your spiritual growth journey. So now we are at Titiksha. What is called as Titiksha? Titiksha nama prarabdhagata shitoshnadi sahanam. It means, what did I say? What did I say? Sorry. So prarabdhagata shitoshnadi sahanam. Prarabdhagata shitoshnadi sahanam. Sahana means to endure, to tolerate, to take something in your stride. What is it that you really need to take in your stride or have that acceptance without any fuming, fretting, and complaining? Okay? So whatever are the experiences thrown at you, because at times all the experiences are not going to be pleasant. In fact, even those objects and the same people, which for some time are pleasant, can become unpleasant also. So then, when you are able to take that sahanam, when you can tolerate, and how is that tolerance without fuming and fretting? Chinta vilaparahitam. There is chinta.
Vilaparahitam. Chinta vilaparahitam.
Chinta vilaparahitam. Chinta means anxiety. And vilapa means lamenting, lamentation. Chinta vilaparahitam. Because, when you see that something unpleasant may arrive or will arrive, then one becomes anxious. Or something that one has already experienced in the past, which is unpleasant. But now what can you do? It is already gone. But there is only lamentation about it. Yeah? So with regards to past and future, there is chinta vilaparahitam. And apratikara purvakam becomes, the pratikara can become only over here in present. What do you do with the unpleasant things in the present? You just take them in yours. Accept. Now this has come, it will also go. No, not without getting. This is called as titiksha. This is called as titiksha. So all that is presented to us by the prarabdha, Prarabdhagata. Prarabdha. You remember I used this word even in the beginning, huh? Which means presently you understand that as some sort of destiny has brought it to you. It has brought it to you. And then Prarabdhagata Shitoshnadi Sahanam. Now, all the pairs of opposites, Shita and Ushna, and everywhere you need to tolerate it, digest it. So those people who are not able to digest the success, they will become arrogant. Those who are not able to digest the praise, they will become demand. Uh, they will start demanding that they need to be praised all the time. It is like an addiction. So over here, what is it? That all the pairs of opposite, one needs to maintain that balance. And that balance means that there is without any chinta and vilaparahitam, apratikara purvakam, sahanam. Okay, fine. It has come. Now that person does not blame anyone and then starts, oh, because of you, this has happened to me, I'm suffering because of you. No, nothing. It's okay. So, titiksha nama prarabdhagata shitoshnadi sahanam. Then finally, in the sixfold qualities, we have something called, not finally, second last, is samadhanam. Samadhanam nama shravanadi anukula vishaye manasaha samadhi. Look at that. That word samadhanam is some sort of samadhi. It is only samadhi. But what kind of samadhi is that? Now that person is not sitting with his eyes closed and plugging his ears or anything. How is he? Shravanadi anukula vishaya. And anukula means conducive. Conducive for what? Conducive, helpful in his attainment of what the purusharth. What purushartha is he looking at? Moksha purushartha. So anukula, moksha anukula, jnana anukula. So his engagements, which are conducive to attainment of knowledge, to the attainment of liberation. What kind of engagements will be conducive to his attainment of knowledge?
Shravana Manana Nididhyasana.
Exactly. Besides Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam, he does not give any importance to any other engagement of Shravana, the Anukula Vishaya. And when the Shravanam, etc., is taking place, how does he sit? Or how is his involvement? Without even an ounce of distraction. Without any distraction. There can be a wedding party going on. Here he is totally, absolutely focused and absorbing every word and everything that is being said by the teacher, or he is absorbed in his own contemplation. Now this Shravana Adi, by that Adi Padena, Manana and Nididhyasanam should be accepted. So he is totally given to that. Like that, then this is called as the state of samadhi over here. And this mind needs to have this kind of, what do they call, disposition. This is the kind of disposition. So it is not something that he is deliberately doing it now. As long as there is deliberation, it is not something that is accomplished. You see? Let me ask you a question. Now, how do you know you have accomplished car driving? How do you know that you have really accomplished car driving? So, somebody was asking his girlfriend that you tell when you are if I give you my car to drive and there is one blind person and there is one lame person, whom will you hit? Now you have no choice. Whom will you hit? She says that, perhaps I will hit the blind person and run away because he has not seen me. So he says, foolish. What you should hit is the brake. What you should hit is the brake. So, when a person knows driving, he doesn't have to think, oh, there is one person coming now. Where should I turn? Should I turn left, right? Oh, no, it happens naturally. If there is a speed breaker, then naturally he will, pull his foot from the accelerator or push the brake or something like that. But now it happens as if it is a involuntary response. It becomes as if it is involuntary. So when it is something like this is involuntary without your conscious thinking, cognitive process getting involved in it, then you know that it is something that is accomplished. So also over here, now all these things have to be accomplished, which means that it becomes a natural, it is your natural way of thinking and living. It is your natural way of thinking and living. Oh, you have to be very kind to the animals. We were taught in the school to be kind. Now that's why I'm trying to, be kind to this little kitty. And no, Baba, it should come naturally. As long as it doesn't come, then you practice. So you're still practicing. Otherwise, some people will say, oh, I'll not practice also because I will wait for it to happen naturally. No. Samadhanam nama shravanati anukula vishaye manasaha samadhi. Then shraddhanam. Then this is the sixth quality, which is there in the sixfold forms of spiritual wealth. Shamadhi Shataka Sampatti. Shraddhanam. So this is the sixth one. Shraddhanam Guru Vedanta Vakya Vishwasaha. Now, one should have that Vishwas, Satya Buddhi. That, Vishwas means Satya Buddhi. Satya Buddhi means that whatever is being spoken, this person, that what he is delivering is true. Is true. Now, what happens is, presently, what is your knowledge about yourself? That I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm good, I'm bad, huh? I'm sad or I'm delighted, so on and so forth. This is what is your knowledge about yourself. In different words, what you are saying is that I am a limited, small, little entity. Okay? When you are going to listen to the Vedanta Vakya from the mouth of the teacher, now it is what is the nature of this self? He is going to say, the way Upanishad is going to say, the nature of the self is infinite consciousness, existence, that Brahman you are. And suddenly, this knowledge which has come from the Upanishad and from the mouth of the teacher is contradicting your pre-existing knowledge. Because on one hand, your knowledge is I am incomplete, I am unfulfilled, I am small, I am limited. That is what you have. No, this is your knowledge about yourself. And then Upanishad comes into picture. And Vedanta, Upanishad, Vedanta, one thing. Vedanta says what? That you are complete, Purnam. Now there is this. Now, when you have two pieces of information which are absolutely opposite to each other, what is your natural cognitive process that will happen? That you will reject one. Correct? Now let us say, I have this little pencil in my hand. Can you see? This is a pencil. So your knowledge is that this is a pencil. Now I am going to say, well, it is not a pencil, it is a screwdriver. It is a screwdriver. Now, when you have two different knowledges with regard to the same object, what happens? What happens?
One has to be wrong.
One is rejected. One is rejected. Why is it rejected?
According to my experience, Pratyaksha experience.
Exactly, because you are now going to take to what your experience goes to prove. Now, your experience at this moment is that I am a man, I'm a woman, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm so sad, I'm delighted, so on and so forth. Correct? Then comes and you are Brahman. What will you do? You are going to reject one. Now, which one do you reject? Then he says that I will reject whatever the teacher has said. Perhaps that is, the teacher, maybe, he's a good person, but little. So, we should have some sympathy for him. Swamiji, oh, you are okay, Swamiji, Swamiji, you are right. Swamiji. So you don't need to give Swamiji some sort of, what do they say, consolation. Swamiji, okay, Swamiji, Atma is Brahmanam. No, this is not what is required. What the thing is that Vishwasaha means Satyam. Now this person is going to say, well, though my experience at this moment, though my experience at this moment is that I am limited, I am man, woman, so on and so forth, yet what the teacher is saying, what Vedanta is saying, showing is true, and I am not able to understand it. What does he say? Instead of rejecting, he stands on the ground. He stands over there on the ground and he says, let me verify. Let me verify what the teacher has said. And let me also verify even what my experience is. Because whatever you have experienced, you have not yet verified it. You simply have taken it for granted that since it is my experience, it has to be true. Have you questioned that whatever I am experiencing, is it really true? Just because it is being experienced, what do you say? It must be true. So your acceptance of that knowledge is a blind acceptance. Whereas now when you are being told that Atma is Brahman, This is not blind acceptance. You are now going to verify. Not only you are going to verify what the teacher is saying, but you are also going to verify your experience too. So you tell us, the person with the Shraddha is having blind faith, or a person without the Shraddha is having blind faith? So now this person is going to stand to the ground and take to the process of verification, which is pariksha, which is now meant as, which will be conducted through Shravana Mananam, etc., is that allows the Shravana Mananam to take place, and therefore this is the nature of Shraddha. So the Shraddha has allowed you, this faith, Vishwas has allowed you to question. It is not that type of faith which blocks you from questioning. You see? So this is the Shraddha which opens the gate for knowledge. Otherwise, you have Shraddha, you should not question. So you are questioning because you don't have faith. No, sir. You are able to question only because you have some faith. Otherwise, you would have rejected it in the beginning only. That this man is mad and, just don't pay any attention to him. He will talk for 1 hour and go. Finish. But then you are standing there. You are saying, well, let me see. Like that. So, Shraddha Nama, what is the, these are all definitions, okay? One must remember them. Shraddha Nama, Guru Vedanta Vakya Vishwasaha. Tomorrow, if I come and then we have some sort of exam, you should be able to produce it again. Okay, recall it. What is Shraddha? Yeah, dekho mat. Don't look into the book. What?
शास्त्रस्य गुरुवाक्यस्य प्रमाणबुद्धिः
गुरुवेदान्तवाक्येषु
विश्वासः
सत्यत्वबुद्धिः प्रमाणबुद्धिः
Very good. But what is there written over here? I want.
गुरुवेदान्तवाक्येषु विश्वासः.
Are Saptamyanta karke, it is not spoken in Saptamyanta with locative case. How is it written over here?
No, Guru Vedanta Vakya Vishwasah.
That's it. I said just reproduce what is carbon copy paste. Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha. Now you are doing the Samasa, you are showing, it is a Saptami Tatpurush Samasa. I don't want to know what kind of compound word is it. It is. I simply want to know what is written there. Mirabede, what is it?
Oh no, I don't have the book.
I have said it so many times now. Okay.
शास्त्रस्य गुरुवाक्यस्य प्रमाणबुद्धिः
Chalo, very good, very good. Sangeeta, what is it?
गुरु वेदांत वाक्य विश्वासः.
Very good. ठीक है. Iti Shamati Shatakam. Thus we have seen that these are the sixfold divine qualities. Wealth. And what should we do with this wealth? Squander it away. Because if some person has some wealth, what will he do? If he squanders it away, he is a fool. But if a person has some little wealth and he is able to keep it and also grow that,
increases,
protect it and also increase it.
Increase.
Then you say that, well, this fellow is some intelligent fellow. Okay, like that. This Shama Shakram is here. Then now next. Furthermore, Grihe dahyamane tatrastho dahyamanah purushah yatha karatra putradikam parityajya स्वतापोपशमनार्थमेव बहिर्निर्गत्य तापोपशमनं कर्तुमिच्छति. Of course. Now, what happens is that the house is on fire, and then, his wife or somebody is there inside. Then this fellow leaves them inside and goes out and cries. Oh, people have gathered outside, these firefighters. He cries, somebody please go inside, bring my wife. Somebody please go inside, bring my wife. Then his neighbor says, why don't you only go? He says, no, somebody else. Grihe dahyamane tatrastho dahyamana purushaha. So if the house is on fire and the one who is getting scorched inside, tatrastaha, not from outside, inside only is trapped, he is getting scorched, getting burnt. Then what he does is dahyamana purushaha. Then he drops everything, even that, all relations and everything, parityajya. And he runs out to save himself from fire. Swatapopashamanathameva bahirnirgatya tapopashamanam kartumichhati. And he runs out. Runs out for what? So that he can watch the house burning from outside. What does he run out for? To douse the fire on his body. Tapopashamanartham.
Tapopashamanartham.
Tapopashamanartham he runs out. Not so that, from outside it must be doing very nice, so let me go out and see. Not because of that. Tapopashamanartham, tapopashamanam kartum ichhati. Evam samsarika tapopashamanam sampadayitum tyakta sarvaishanasya brahmatadatmya bhave mokshe ivrecha mumuksha. Okay? Now this is, I'm a spiritual seeker. I'm a spiritual seeker. What do you mean by spiritual seeker? Sometimes people really are confused and that's why they call themselves spiritual. What do you mean by spiritual seeker, sir? This is what is there. Samsarika tapopashamanam sampadayitum. In order to save oneself from the heat of the samsara, of this world. So wherever you go in this world, thinking that there will be some little, peace and some little, what do they call, relief, respite, the same fellow, the same thing, the same object becomes the cause of his misery. Becomes the cause of it. So wherever, now he says that where should I go? Where should I go? Samsara tapopashamanam sampadayitum. And therefore, any tyakta sarvaeshanasya, whatever is desired, that desired object itself is a calamity. And therefore, he gives up all the eshanas, all the desires. Alone, what is he seeking? Brahmatadat. I just want to know the truth and be free. I just want to know how this Atma is Brahman and be liberated, be free. So this is moksha. So mokshe tivrecha. What in that Brahma Tadatmya, I want to find my oneness with Paramatma, Brahma Tadatmya Bhave. And this Tivra Ichha, it is a desire. Of course, this is also a desire. And how is not only it is the ordinary desire, fleeting desire, Tivra. Tivra meaning intense. Tivra meaning it is an intense desire. And this kind of a desire for liberation is called as moksha. Just like what is the example that is provided? Grihe dahyamane tatrastho dahyamana purushaha. This is an example, very, very practical in world. This thing happens. Whenever you find that even, as long as everything is honky-dory, when that fellow starts suffering losses and all, people will start going away from you. Enough, they will change their friends and clubs and everything. This is how it is. So there is yet another example, which is, little still simpler. So somebody who has matted locks on their head, suddenly that catches fire. Matted locks on the head catches fire. Now what? He's going to sit in front of the mirror and watch how nicely it is burning? Or he's going to call up, dial, fire engine, please. What will he do? Will he wait? And the only water that is there is some puddle. The ready water has got into a pit, and there is that. What will he do?
He will jump into that puddle.
Without even thinking, douse the fire. He is not going to wait. Oh, when this water becomes, if I just need distillery water, what do they call it? Mineral water, all packaged. I will not douse my fire in this. No douse. You jump into it like that. Mokshe tivre cha moksha. Okay? So all these are the fourfold qualities. Viveka, Vairagya, the 6 forms of spiritual wealth, and finally, the intense desire for liberation. All the 4 are required in a person. And why should they be? Why are they required? Why are these 4 things required in a person? So that his attempt at the studies should become
Be fruitful. Fruitful.
successful, fruitful. Okay? That is the reason why it is required. I think enough for now, today. All right. So we will come back again on this tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaha Purnam Dachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Shankaram Shankaracharya Keshavam Badaraya Sutrabhashritau Vande Bhagavantau Punః Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha.
Harihi Om.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.